So we've done our welcome. We're going to get ready here in just a second to go on to our presentation on iReady. And then, like I said, we'll have questions and answers at the end. So Josh, I'm going to go ahead and turn the screen over to you.
Thank you, Deb. I believe you have to enable it. So, all right, perfect.
You have it now.
Thank you. All right, I get to the slides. All right. So, hello everyone. I'm Josh Thibodeau. I'm a coordinator with curriculum instruction, as Deb introduced. I oversee the assessment programs for the district. And what we are using starting last year in K-8 is iReady, and this year we're using it K-12. And we're using iReady for two main reasons. One is we're using it as a universal screener so that our teachers can meet the needs of our students. iReady measures where students are, and it is adaptive, which means that it adjusts to of the students' answers. That and because of the times that we're in, you will likely see them assessing on iReady with their teacher, perhaps even over Zoom. And so it's important not to help them or just kind of let them do it, because they're going to get about half of them right and half wrong, because it really wants to see where they are. And it won't be used for grade in the class. It's not used for that or for placement. It's really to see where gaps might be and help. So here on the screen, I have the way that they would log in. So as many of you know, I'm a parent in the district, and things don't always work perfectly. There sometimes are glitches, and so I just wanted to show you a couple things that you might see that could help if there's a glitch getting into the system. So first off, if you've been to any of the previous meetings, there's a portal for students to log into that many of our programs with. iReady is one of those, and so they'd have a little time like that. Once they log in here, they click here. This is the login screen for iReady that only kinder and first grade students may use if the teacher gives them a little card. So they don't go directly here, they try here first, and they log in. So that piece, it's important to know that they log in the portal. The other thing that we are using iReady for is the lessons, the digital lessons that they have. In addition to telling the student might need help, it also provides custom lessons that are on the subjects that the students might need more help in. So they can actually go through and complete lessons online in addition to the instruction from the teacher. And so that is K-8, those lessons are available. So they might also be logging into iReady to complete some lessons in the near future. Can we move on to the next slide? All right, so I do have a couple things for you today, information about iReady. First, I'm going to play a video for you that iReady produced. As a parent in the family, a parent with a family of 2 kids that are going to an elementary school, I felt that this video was very informative and me a good perspective of what my role as a father is to my kids, and also gives you a nice overview. It kind of repeats some of what I said, but it does a good job of explaining. Then I want to share with you a couple other helpful things that'll be for the assessment and for the curriculum. I might have to do. Okay. Go. And so this is a link to the iReady English and Spanish website for supporting you, family, while the student may be using iReady at home. Can we hear it?
Hello, I'm Ty with a message from the iReady team. But first, a question. Have you ever taken a vision test? Some letters are blurry, some are crystal clear, and when the test is over, the eye doctor knows exactly what you can see and how to help you see even better. iReady is like that. But it's not checking vision. It's telling us what your child already knows and what they need to work on next in math and reading. It's a very different kind of test than you and I grew up with. With iReady, no grades are given. It's fully expected that students will get 50% of the questions wrong, which is good because that's how teachers know what to work on with your child. iReady is normally given at school, but this year, there's no normal. Teachers are counting on us, the families, to get the same trusted results so your child's learning will stay on course, whether they're in school or at home or both. And the best way for you to help is not to help. Would you help your child with a vision test? Of course not. You'd stand back and provide no hints. It's about what your child knows, not what you know. And the great thing about this is that the test reveals that students may know more than we think. Now, there are a few things you can do. The most important being this: make sure your child takes iReady in a quiet space. The fewer distractions, the better. Other tips on how to help can be found at the link on your screen. Teachers need our help. In order for them to best support our kids, it'll take our best to get the very best of iReady.
All right, so as you can see there, it talks about the important thing is that they have a quiet place and they're not being helped on it. They're to really do like a vision test on their learning, if you will. So that they do have a website with all these resources as well. There's another resource I'd like to share with you that I think would be helpful. This one is a checklist, and we'll post these links as well. This is a checklist for what you can do to kind of ready your environment or the student's environment. And then the second page, this one I thought would be useful. It gives you some things to say to your student if they're, let's say, like before the assessment. This diagnostic helps you find out where you are, what you know, understand where you are ready to learn, and will help you get just the right lessons. So it gives you a kind of a script. So if your child is like struggling throughout, rushing, moving too slow, it gives you things to say to them. So that might be helpful to your child as they do this assessment. Some students we find get a little bit stressed out during assessments, so it's good to have some things to say to really help them through it, and try their best, because this is information that we are definitely using for not only the assessments, but also our teachers are using it for teaching. One last thing I'll share before we go to questions and answers. There is a data tracker here. I have a little screenshot of it. Oh, sorry. What this does is it allows your student to kind of track their progress. As we're going virtual, it's hard for the teachers to really monitor everything that's happening virtually. And so if you take a look at like a chart like this, it helps the students kind of stay on track. I use this with one of my kids, when they're starting the lessons back in May or April. It helps them see that they completed lessons as they're moving through the tailored lessons. So I thought that would be a helpful thing for you as a family. If you have your child work on this, then you can say, hey, let me check out your log, and you can see all the good stuff that they've been doing. And if they're rushing through, you can tell too, and give them some encouragement. So, okay, that's a basic overview of iReady. Again, this is our assessment program K-12 that we're using to learn more about what our students know and don't know. So I'll open it up to questions. Are there any in the chat?
Nothing in the chat.
Okay.
So parents, if you have questions, you can either type them in our chat, or if you use the little reaction, you can have the hand up and we'll monitor that to see if there's any questions, or just go ahead and unmute yourself and feel free to ask your questions at this time. I know we had a couple of people that came in a little bit late, so we might have Okay, so 2 questions we have so far. One, are the trackers on the OUSD website?
Yeah, so the data tracking for the student is posted. It's also on the iReady website, and also your teacher and or principal will be reaching out very soon if they haven't already to give you actively give you these things. There's about 4 things that they'll be sharing with you. That video is probably going to be one of them, and then the data trackers and the other resources. Yes, so those are all posted. I see a question here. Is the program for 10th grade high school? Yes, we are assessing this year all the way from K all the way up to 12th grade. And so the iReady system does go up through that level, and so we're going to get that data and see where everybody is.
We have another
teachers
question. When will teachers start doing these assessments?
Yeah, so the assessments have actually started in some schools. El Camino has already started, and South Oceanside, and I want to say North Terrace, and a few others. But many schools are starting now this week or next week. My son just finished his assessment yesterday. So you'll be hearing from your schools very soon on completing this.
Diane, are there any questions from your room?
And the one thing that I didn't mention either is that this diagnostic is for, in particular, reading and mathematics across the board. So we don't have we're not assessing outside of that realm right now in this one system.
Huh?
I'm sorry?
Okay. A question. The username is their student ID, and the password is the first letter and 4 letters of the last name, correct?
For the Rapid ID portal for
Yes.
the
Or for
Oceanside Unified one?
Right. And then when it asks you to log in on the iReady site, it's the same, correct?
No, actually, we have it set up so the student doesn't have to go to the iReady site. They just click on the icon once they've logged in with Oceanside, and it automatically just takes them right in.
Okay.
They do not need to know another password. We try to make it one password for everything.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we have any other questions?
So I will say one more thing too, that as they're taking the assessment, all of our teachers are also proctoring it virtually, which means they're watching the student progression. They may be on a Zoom call while they're doing the assessment, or they may have a Zoom meeting before and after the assessment to touch base with the students. So for details on when it's going to happen, please reach out to your teacher. They'll probably have a date for you. And like I said, many of the schools are just starting right now. And so you'll be hearing more details on this piece.
So we did have a comment from somebody in the interpretation room. Somebody wished that they had these tips earlier. Their daughter got a little nervous that she didn't know answers. So just this time I would just reassure her that that's common, and she did fine, and not to worry about that. That's very helpful information for the teacher.
Yeah, absolutely. And there will be 2 more assessments during the year. There'll be one midway through the year, maybe in December, and then there'll be another one at the end of the year. So sorry that your daughter was a little bit nervous, but she'll have an opportunity to show her growth.
Josh, I'm going to take over the screen real quick and share with parents some of the other resources that we have available for them.
Perfect, thank you.
Let's see if I can get. Okay. So one thing I do want to let parents know is we do have tech support for families. The line is open from 7:30 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. In English, the telephone number would be 760-966-4444. Excuse me. In Spanish, the telephone number is 760-966-4443. At this point, you'll probably be leaving a message. They are getting through the questions as quickly as possible, but if you're having any issues with your device or with login, this would be the place to go to help answer those and address those. I also want to share with you on our district website, I'm going to click on this link here. So if you go to the home screen of the district website and scroll here, just below the picture, you'll see this icon. It says virtual learning. So if you click on that, it'll take you to the website. And this is resources that we've posted for parents during this time of virtual learning. I do want to point this out. This is a great resource we have available for families. We're going to have virtual tutors available for students. They can request individual appointment between 1:15 and 3:45 every afternoon. Excuse me. Or you can attend open drop-in Zoom meetings between 4 and 7:30 every afternoon. I apologize. And that's available Monday through Friday. So if you click on the link here, it'll take you to that website and let you know how you can sign up for one of the individualized appointments. Down here under the Parent Academies, this is the list of all the academies that we have held. This is our last and our first group of workshops. They have all been video recorded. And if you click here on our OUSD YouTube channel, you will be able to access all of those meetings that we have held to date. So if you missed any and would like to go back and watch it on your own, feel free to do that. And then the links that have been provided, like the ones Josh shared with you today, are available through those. So that's a great resource to go back and view any of the workshops that you missed. Also, there is a great resource listed here. It's called the Parent Resources for Virtual Learning. And when you click on this document has a list of most of the programs and platforms that our students will be using. There are videos and tutorials that are provided in both English and Spanish. So there's some great little quick videos you can watch, some step-by-step directions, but most of the programs that we've been presenting, Benchmark, Go Math is in here, Blackboard, today, if you go scroll down, here's iReady, and there's some information here about the iReady. Here again, login information if your child's having trouble logging in. Seesaw for our TK2 students. Information about YouTube videos and Zoom directions. If you're having issues with an iPad, there's a great document here to help you with troubleshooting. So if you are having an issue, I recommend you take a look at this first before calling the tech line, because you might be able to resolve it on your own, but that's a great resource. And there's also one here for Chromebooks. So if you're having issues logging in with your Chromebooks. So these documents are posted on that website and available, and I think you'll find them very useful and informative. So here's more information about technology support, or if you're needing internet. And then one other, if you click here, you'll get all of these resources in Spanish. There's a great link here for social emotional support. So if you're having some issues with your child, some anxiety or things, click on there, and our counselors and school psychologists have created a huge list of resources to help support families. And then one other site that I want to bring your attention to, I'm back on the home screen. And if you scroll over here to the quick links, there's a link here called Safely Reopening OUSD. And this will be where the most current and up-to-date information is posted about our reopening plans, where we're at as far as the county, Health Watch, and where we're at as a district. So I would highly recommend that you monitor this website to see where we're at with the plans. But also you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow our social media channels for up-to-date information as well. So that concludes our presentation for today. We'll be glad to stay on for a few more minutes to see if there are any questions. Otherwise, you're free to go at this time. And we thank you so much for your participation and hope you found this information worthwhile. So thank you so much for joining us today. Let's see, I'm looking to see. Okay, I do see a question in the chat about will this session be recorded? And yes, you also, if you would like to join us tonight, we're doing the same presentation at 6 o'clock. So if you're interested in that, let me know and I can include you on that invite so you get the code to join in that Zoom.